What if I told you that one of the greatest civilizations in history shaped the world in ways you never imagined? A civilization so advanced that its inventions changed human history forever. From paper to gunpowder, from philosophy to monumental architecture, this empire laid the foundation for much of what we take for granted today. Welcome to the secrets of ancient China, a story spanning thousands of years, filled with innovation, wisdom, and enduring legacies. Stretching back over 5,000 years, ancient China stands as one of humanity's longest-lasting and most influential civilizations. Nestled between towering mountain ranges, vast deserts, and fertile river valleys, it was here that some of the earliest forms of writing, governance, and culture emerged. But how did this remarkable civilization begin? The answer lies in the cradle of Chinese civilization, the Yellow River Valley. Known as the Mother River, it provided fertile soil for farming and became the birthplace of Chinese society. This region, often plagued by devastating floods, forced early settlers to develop sophisticated irrigation systems and cooperative communities. Over time, these small villages grew into powerful city-states, laying the groundwork for dynastic rule. Legends speak of mythical figures like Fuqi and Nuwa, who are said to have introduced agriculture, marriage, and even the concept of yin and yang. These myths, though fantastical, reflect the deep cultural roots of a people striving to understand their place in the cosmos. Our journey begins in the fertile plains of the Yellow River Valley, where the seeds of Chinese civilization were sown. Often referred to as the cradle of Chinese civilization, this region provided rich alluvial soil, ideal for farming. But life here was far from easy. The Yellow River, while nurturing crops, was also unpredictable. Its floods could devastate entire villages overnight. To survive, early settlers had to innovate. They developed sophisticated irrigation techniques, built levees to control flooding, and formed cooperative communities to share resources. These challenges fostered unity and ingenuity, laying the foundation for what would eventually become a highly organized society. But beyond practical survival, these early inhabitants sought meaning in their existence. Myths and legends arose to explain the mysteries of nature and humanity's place within it. Figures like Fuqi, Nuwa, and Shennong became cultural heroes. Fuqi teaching people to fish and domesticate animals, Nuwa repairing the heavens after a great calamity, and Shennong introducing agriculture and herbal medicine. These myths may seem fantastical, but they reflect the values and aspirations of a people striving to understand their world. And soon, these stories would give way to something even more profound: the dawn of dynastic rule. The first chapter in China's dynastic history belongs to the Zhi dynasty, shrouded in mystery and debate. According to traditional accounts, the Xia ruled from approximately 2070 BCE to 1600 BCE under the leadership of Yu the Great, a legendary figure credited with taming the Yellow River's floods through ingenious engineering. Yu's success earned him the loyalty of the people, and he established the concept of hereditary kingship, a radical idea at the time. Yet for centuries, historians dismissed the Xia as mere legend, lacking concrete evidence. That changed with the discovery of the Erlitou site in modern-day Henan province. Erlitou reveals a complex urban center with advanced metallurgy, centralized governance, and social stratification, all characteristics of an early state. While definitive proof linking Erlitou to the Xia remains elusive, many scholars now believe it represents the material remnants of this fabled dynasty. But the Xia's reign would not last forever. As their power waned, a new force rose to claim dominance, the mighty Shang dynasty. From approximately 1600 BCE to 1046 BCE, the Shang dynasty ruled over much of northern China, leaving behind a legacy of artistic brilliance and spiritual depth. Known as the Bronze Age of Chinese history, this era saw unparalleled advancements in metalworking. The Shang crafted exquisite bronze objects used in religious rituals, symbolizing their connection to the divine. These vessels were not merely decorative. They conveyed status, power, and reverence for ancestors. The craftsmanship required to produce them speaks volumes about the sophistication of Shang society. But perhaps the Shang's most remarkable contribution was their development of writing. Inscriptions carved onto oracle bones, turtle shells, and ox scapula represent some of the earliest examples of Chinese script. Used primarily for divination, these inscriptions provide invaluable insights into Shang life. Questions ranged from mundane concerns like weather and harvests to existential matters such as warfare and succession. Through these records, we glimpse a society deeply attuned to both earthly affairs and cosmic forces. Yet despite their achievements, the Shang faced constant threats from rival states and internal strife. Their downfall came at the hands of the Zhou, who claimed the mandate of heaven to justify their conquest. The Zhou dynasty, which lasted nearly 800 years, 1046 BCE, 256 BCE, marked a turning point in Chinese history. Unlike their predecessors, the Zhou introduced a revolutionary concept, the mandate of heaven. According to this doctrine, heaven bestowed legitimacy upon virtuous rulers, but could withdraw its favor if they became corrupt or ineffective. This idea not only legitimized the Zhou's overthrow of the Shang, but also established a moral framework for governance that endured for millennia. The Zhou period is often divided into two phases: the Western Zhou, 1046-771 BCE, and the Eastern Zhou, 770-256 BCE. During the Western Zhou, the empire expanded significantly, incorporating new territories and consolidating power through a feudal system. Noble lords governed local regions in exchange for military support, creating a decentralized yet interconnected network. However, this system eventually led to fragmentation, culminating in the tumultuous Spring and Autumn period, 770-476 BCE, and the Warring States period, 475-221 BCE. It was during these chaotic times that philosophical thought flourished. Thinkers like Confucius, Laozi, and Sun Tzu emerged, offering solutions to the crises facing their fractured world. The collapse of central authority during the later Zhou period sparked a golden age of intellectual activity known as the 100 Schools of Thought. Scholars debated ethics, politics, and metaphysics, seeking answers to the chaos engulfing their land. Confucius, born in 551 BCE, emphasized morality, respect, and social order. His teachings, compiled in the Analects, advocated filial piety, education, and ethical leadership. He believed that a harmonious society depended on individuals fulfilling their roles responsibly. Taoism, founded by Laozi, offered a contrasting perspective. The Tao Te Ching advocates simplicity, spontaneity, and alignment with the natural flow of the universe. For Taoists, true wisdom lies in embracing the ineffable Tao, the source of all things. Meanwhile, legalism championed strict laws and centralized authority. Proponents like Han Feizi argued that human nature was inherently selfish and required rigid control to maintain order. This philosophy would later inspire the authoritarian policies of the Qin dynasty. These philosophies, though diverse, shared a common goal: to restore stability and prosperity to a fractured realm. Together they form the bedrock of Chinese intellectual tradition, influencing countless generations. What if I told you that many of the things we take for granted today owe their existence to one civilization? A civilization so innovative that its inventions transformed not just its own destiny, but the course of human history. From the paper in your hands to the fireworks lighting up the night sky, these are the creations of ancient China, a society that dared to dream, experiment, and redefine what was possible. Today we embark on a journey through time to uncover the secrets behind 4 groundbreaking inventions: paper, the compass, gunpowder, and printing. These marvels didn't just change China, they changed the world forever. Our story begins with an invention so simple, yet profoundly transformative: paper. Before its creation, humanity relied on cumbersome alternatives like bamboo strips, wooden tablets, and expensive silk to record information. But everything changed during the Eastern Han Dynasty, thanks to someone named Kai Lun. In 105 CE, Kai Lun refined the process of making paper using tree bark, hemp, rags, and fishing nets. His method involved soaking raw materials, pounding them into pulp, and pressing the mixture into thin sheets. This innovation democratized knowledge, making it easier to write, store, and share ideas. Paper quickly spread throughout China, fueling advancements in literature, science, and administration. By the Tang dynasty, it had reached Central Asia via the Silk Road, eventually reaching Europe centuries later. Imagine a world without books, newspapers, or even sticky notes, all made possible because of this humble invention. Paper wasn't just a material. It was a catalyst for intellectual progress, connecting minds across generations and continents. Next, we turn to another invention that literally pointed humanity in new directions: the magnetic compass. Long before GPS satellites guided our journeys, the compass helped explorers chart unknown territories and connect distant lands. The origins of the compass date back to the Han Dynasty, when Chinese geomancers discovered the magnetic properties of lodestones. Initially used for divination and aligning buildings with cosmic forces, the compass gradually evolved into a tool for practical navigation. By the Song dynasty, mariners were using magnetized needles floating in water bowls to determine direction at sea. This breakthrough enabled longer voyages, facilitating trade along the Silk Road and beyond. Chinese merchants carried silk, porcelain, and spices to faraway markets, while bringing back exotic goods like glassware and spices. Without the compass, global exploration might never have happened. It paved the way for Columbus's voyages, Magellan's circumnavigation, and the Age of Discovery, a testament to how one small device can reshape the world. Now let's explore an invention that started as a quest for immortality, but ended up revolutionizing warfare: gunpowder. Yes, the same substance that powers fireworks also gave rise to cannons, rockets, and firearms. During the Tang dynasty, Taoist alchemists searching for elixirs of life stumbled upon a volatile mixture of saltpeter, sulfur, and charcoal. When ignited, this concoction produced a fiery explosion, a discovery both terrifying and exhilarating. At first, gunpowder was used primarily for entertainment, creating dazzling displays of fireworks during festivals. However, by the Song dynasty, military strategists recognized its potential as a weapon. Fire lances, grenades, and bombs soon appeared on battlefields, giving Chinese armies a decisive edge against invaders. Gunpowder technology eventually spread westward, influencing European warfare and contributing to the fall of medieval fortresses. Today, its legacy lives on, not only in military applications but also in celebrations that light up the night sky. Our final invention is one that truly democratized knowledge: printing. While woodblock printing existed earlier, it was the development of movable type that marked a quantum leap forward. Woodblock printing allowed entire pages to be reproduced efficiently, enabling the mass production of religious texts, medical manuals, and government decrees. But it had limitations. Each block could only print one page, making large-scale projects labor-intensive. In the 11th century, a commoner named Bi Sheng solved this problem by inventing movable type. Using clay characters, he created individual pieces that could be rearranged to form different texts. Though his system was initially limited by the complexity of Chinese characters, it laid the groundwork for future innovations. Movable type printing eventually inspired Johannes Gutenberg's press in Europe, sparking the Renaissance and the Reformation. Without this invention, the spread of ideas, from scientific discoveries to political revolutions, might have been delayed for centuries. Together, these four inventions, paper, the compass, gunpowder, and printing, formed the backbone of what scholars call the four great inventions of ancient China. Their influence extends far beyond their original purposes, shaping every aspect of modern life. Paper and printing revolutionized education, governance, and communication. The compass connected cultures and economies through trade and exploration. Gunpowder reshaped warfare and geopolitics. Each invention built upon the last, creating a cascade of progress that continues to propel us forward. These achievements remind us that innovation isn't just about creating something new. It's about imagining possibilities and daring to bring them to life. And perhaps no civilization embodied this spirit more than ancient China. What if I told you that some of the most profound ideas about how to live, govern, and find meaning in life originated thousands of years ago in one civilization? These ideas didn't just shape empires, they shaped humanity itself. From the halls of power to the quiet corners of personal reflection, the philosophies of ancient China have influenced cultures, governments, and individuals across the globe. Today we delve into the timeless wisdom of Confucianism, Taoism, and legalism, the three great schools of thought that defined ancient China. Together they form a philosophical tapestry that continues to inspire and challenge us to this day. Our journey begins with Confucius, a teacher, thinker, and reformer whose teachings became the cornerstone of Chinese culture for over 2 millennia. Born in 551 BCE during the chaotic Warring States period, Confucius sought to restore order to a fractured society through morality, education, and ethical leadership. At the heart of Confucianism is the belief in Ren, humaneness or benevolence. Confucius taught that cultivating virtue within oneself could lead to harmony in families, communities, and ultimately, the state. He emphasized 5 key relationships: ruler and subject, father and son, husband and wife, elder and younger siblings, and friends. One of Confucius's most enduring concepts is filial piety, respect for one's parents and ancestors. This principle reinforced social stability by fostering loyalty and responsibility. His teachings were later compiled into the Analects, a collection of sayings and dialogues that remain central to East Asian philosophy. But Confucianism wasn't just about personal ethics. It was also a blueprint for governance. Rulers were expected to lead by example, embodying virtues like humility, integrity, and compassion. When leaders acted virtuously, they inspired trust and unity among their subjects. Confucian ideals spread beyond China, influencing Korea, Japan, Vietnam, and even modern Western thought. Its emphasis on education, meritocracy, and social harmony continues to resonate in our interconnected world. While Confucianism focused on societal order, another school of thought emerged that championed a different path, one of spontaneity, balance, and alignment with nature. This is Taoism, founded by the enigmatic sage Laozi. According to legend, Laozi wrote the Tao Te Ching, a poetic masterpiece of only 5,000 characters, before disappearing into the wilderness. At its core, Taoism teaches the importance of living in harmony with the Tao, the Way, an ineffable force that flows through all things. The Tao Te Ching advocates simplicity, humility, and non-action, Wu Wei. Not laziness, but effortless action aligned with natural rhythms. For Taoists, true wisdom comes not from striving, but from yielding, allowing life to unfold organically. Taoism profoundly influenced Chinese art, medicine, and spirituality. Its principles can be seen in practices like feng shui, acupuncture, and qigong, which aim to harmonize human energy with the environment. Even today, Taoist ideas remind us to slow down, embrace imperfection, and reconnect with the natural world. In stark contrast to the gentle philosophies of Confucianism and Taoism stands legalism, a pragmatic and often ruthless approach to governance. Emerging during the Warring States period, legalism rejected morality in favor of strict laws, centralized authority, and harsh punishments. Hanfeizi, one of legalism's foremost proponents, argued that human nature was inherently selfish and required rigid control to maintain order. He believed that clear laws, consistently enforced, would deter wrongdoing and ensure stability. Legalism reached its zenith under the Qin dynasty, particularly under Emperor Qin Shi Huang. Determined to unify China, he implemented sweeping reforms based on legalist principles. Standardized weights, measures, currency, and script streamlined administration, while brutal suppression of dissent consolidated power. While legalism enabled rapid unification and monumental projects, it came at a cost. Oppression and fear alienated many, leading to the dynasty's swift collapse after Qin Shi Huang's death. Yet elements of legalism endured, blending with Confucianism to shape imperial governance for centuries. As time passed, these seemingly opposing philosophies began to merge, creating a rich synthesis that reflected the complexity of human experience. During the Song dynasty, Neo-Confucianism arose, blending Confucian ethics with metaphysical insights from Buddhism and Taoism. Neo-Confucians like Zhu Xi sought to reconcile rational inquiry with spiritual depth, emphasizing self-cultivation and cosmic harmony. Their work revitalized Confucianism, making it more adaptable to changing times. This syncretic tradition highlights the flexibility and resilience of Chinese philosophy. Rather than competing ideologies, Confucianism, Taoism, and legalism complement each other, offering diverse tools for navigating life's challenges. The influence of these philosophies extends far beyond ancient China. Confucian ideals of respect, education, and social harmony have shaped East Asian societies, contributing to their economic success and communal values. Meanwhile, Taoist concepts of balance and adaptability resonate in fields like psychology, ecology, and design. Even in the West, thinkers like Voltaire admired Confucius for his emphasis on reason and morality without reliance on divine authority. Today, as we grapple with issues like climate change, inequality, and political polarization, the wisdom of ancient China offers timeless guidance. What if I told you that one of the most iconic structures in human history was built not just to defend a nation, but to define it? Stretching over 13,000 miles, the Great Wall of China is more than an architectural marvel. It's a testament to resilience, ingenuity, and the unyielding spirit of a civilization. For centuries, it stood as both a shield against invaders and a symbol of unity, ambition, and cultural identity. We embark on a journey along this monumental structure, not only to uncover its secrets, but to understand how it shaped the destiny of ancient China and left an indelible mark on the world. Our story begins long before the Great Wall became a single, continuous barrier. During the chaotic Warring States period, 475 to 221 BCE, rival kingdoms constructed defensive walls to protect their territories from nomadic tribes and neighboring states. These early walls were rudimentary, made of tamped earth, wood, and stone, but they served their purpose, deterring invasions and safeguarding agricultural lands. However, it wasn't until the rise of Emperor Qin Shi Huang that these fragmented barriers would be unified into what we now recognize as the Great Wall. In 221 BCE, Qin Shi Huang conquered the last of his rivals, unifying China under a centralized empire. To secure his borders, he ordered the connection and expansion of existing walls, creating a formidable line of defense against the Xiongnu, a fierce nomadic confederation to the north. The project required immense resources and manpower, often at great human cost. Yet, despite its brutality, the wall became a defining feature of Qin's legacy, a physical manifestation of his vision for a unified China. While the Qin dynasty laid the foundation, subsequent dynasties expanded and refined the Great Wall, adapting it to meet new challenges and opportunities. During the Han Dynasty, 206 BCE, 220 CE, the wall played a dual role. It protected trade routes like the Silk Road, ensuring safe passage for merchants carrying silk, spices, and precious goods. At the same time, it served as a buffer zone, allowing the empire to monitor and manage interactions with nomadic groups. But perhaps the most significant transformation occurred under the Ming Dynasty, 1368 to 1644. Faced with renewed threats from Mongol raiders, the Ming undertook massive renovations, replacing earthen sections with sturdy brick and stone fortifications. The Ming-era wall featured advanced engineering, including steep staircases, crenellated parapets, and strategically placed watchtowers. These enhancements made it not only stronger but also more visually striking, a monument to imperial power and technological prowess. To truly understand the Great Wall, we must look beyond its stones and consider the lives of those who lived and worked along its length. For soldiers stationed at remote outposts, life was grueling, yet vital to national security. Garrisons housed thousands of troops, tasked with patrolling the wall, maintaining its defenses, and responding to attacks. They communicated using signal fires, drums, and flags, a primitive yet effective early warning system. Beyond military functions, the wall supported thriving communities. Local economies benefited from the presence of garrisons, which provided employment and stimulated trade. Farmers cultivated land protected by the wall, while artisans crafted tools, weapons, and supplies needed for construction and defense. For generations, the Great Wall has been woven into the fabric of daily life, inspiring legends, folklore, and a deep sense of pride among the Chinese people. While the Great Wall's primary function was defense, its impact extended far beyond military strategy. Over time, it evolved into a powerful symbol of Chinese unity, perseverance, and cultural identity. For centuries, poets and painters have immortalized the wall in their works, capturing its grandeur and mystique. Its silhouette against rugged terrain embodies the harmony between humanity and nature, a recurring theme in Chinese philosophy. Today, the Great Wall stands as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, attracting millions of visitors each year. It serves as a reminder of China's rich heritage and its enduring contributions to global culture. Despite its legendary status, the Great Wall faces numerous challenges in the modern era. Centuries of exposure to wind, rain, and seismic activity have taken their toll, leaving many sections in disrepair. Human activity poses additional threats. Urbanization, tourism, and even vandalism have damaged parts of the wall, raising concerns about its long-term preservation. Thankfully, efforts are underway to protect this irreplaceable treasure. Governments, NGOs, and local communities are collaborating to restore key sections, implement sustainable practices, and raise awareness about the wall's historical importance. Through these initiatives, the Great Wall continues to inspire future generations, bridging the past and present in ways few other monuments can. What if I told you that one of the greatest networks in human history wasn't built of bricks or steel, but of dreams, ambition, and shared curiosity? Spanning thousands of miles across deserts, mountains, and seas, the Silk Road connected east and west like never before. It wasn't just a trade route, it was a bridge between civilizations, a conduit for ideas, art, religion, and innovation. Now we journey along this legendary path, not only to uncover its treasures, but to explore how it transformed ancient China and reshaped the world forever. Our story begins during the Han Dynasty, 206 BCE 220 CE, when Emperor Wu sought to expand China's influence beyond its borders. In 138 BCE, he dispatched an envoy named Zhang Qian on a daring mission to forge alliances with distant kingdoms. Though his initial mission failed, Zhang Qian returned with invaluable knowledge about Central Asia, its peoples, resources, and potential for trade. His reports inspired the establishment of formal trade routes linking China to regions as far west as the Roman Empire. The Silk Road earned its name from China's most coveted export, luxurious silk fabric. Prized for its beauty and rarity, silk became a status symbol across Eurasia, fueling demand for Chinese goods. But the Silk Road carried more than material wealth. It facilitated an unprecedented exchange of cultures. While silk dominated exports, the Silk Road transported a dazzling array of goods, from fragrant spices and fine ceramics to precious metals and gemstones. Yet, the true magic of the Silk Road lay in what traveled alongside these commodities: ideas, beliefs, and innovations. China introduced groundbreaking inventions like papermaking, printing, and gunpowder to the wider world. These technologies revolutionized communication, warfare, and governance, leaving an indelible mark on global history. At the same time, foreign influences flowed eastward. Buddhism, originating in India, spread to China via the Silk Road, profoundly shaping Chinese philosophy, art, and architecture. Monks translated sacred texts, built monasteries, and created breathtaking sculptures that blended Indian and Chinese styles. Other religions, such as Zoroastrianism, Christianity, and Islam, also found their way along the Silk Road, enriching the spiritual landscape of ancient China. To truly understand the Silk Road, we must step into the shoes of those who traversed it. Merchants braving treacherous landscapes, nomads navigating shifting sands, and innkeepers welcoming weary travelers. Journeys along the Silk Road were perilous, fraught with bandits, extreme weather, and scarce water supplies. To survive, travelers relied on a network of caravanserais, fortified inns offering shelter, food, and camaraderie. These oasis towns became melting pots of culture, where languages, customs, and traditions intermingled. They served not only as rest stops, but as hubs of intellectual and artistic exchange. For many, life on the Silk Road was both arduous and exhilarating, a testament to humanity's boundless capacity for exploration and connection. The zenith of the Silk Road occurred during the Tang Dynasty, 618 to 907 CE, often regarded as China's Golden Age. Under Tang rule, the capital city of Chang'an became one of the largest and most cosmopolitan cities in the world. Foreign envoys, scholars, and traders flocked to Chang'an, drawn by its prosperity and openness. The city's markets overflowed with exotic wares, Persian rugs, Arabian perfumes, and Byzantine glassware, all testaments to the Silk Road's reach. The Tang era saw a flourishing of arts, literature, and science, fueled by the influx of foreign ideas. This period exemplifies how interconnectedness can spark creativity and progress. Despite its success, the Silk Road eventually declined due to political instability, shifting trade patterns, and the rise of maritime routes. The Mongol Empire briefly revitalized the network, ensuring safe passage for travelers under Pax Mongolica. However, by the Ming Dynasty, 1368 to 1644, China turned inward, prioritizing naval expeditions over land-based trade. Yet the legacy of the Silk Road endures. Its spirit lives on in modern globalization, connecting nations through commerce, diplomacy, and cultural exchange. Today, initiatives like China's Belt and Road Project echo the ancient Silk Road's vision of connectivity and cooperation. The Silk Road reminds us that no civilization exists in isolation, that our shared humanity thrives when barriers are broken down and bridges are built. What if I told you that some of humanity's most exquisite expressions of beauty and meaning were born in one civilization? From the delicate brushstrokes of calligraphy to the majestic sweep of imperial palaces, ancient China created art and architecture that spoke not just to the eyes, but to the soul. These masterpieces weren't merely decorative. They were reflections of philosophy, spirituality, and the enduring quest for harmony. Today we journey through the vibrant tapestry of ancient Chinese art, architecture, and calligraphy, a world where creativity met purpose and every stroke carried significance. Ancient Chinese art was deeply rooted in nature and imbued with layers of meaning. Unlike Western traditions that often focused on realism, Chinese artists sought to capture the essence, or qi, of their subjects. Landscape painting, known as shanshui, mountain water, became one of the highest forms of artistic expression during the Tang, 618 to 907 CE, and Song, 960 to 1279 CE dynasties. These works weren't just depictions of scenery. They were meditations on the relationship between humans and the cosmos. Taoist principles heavily influenced this style, emphasizing simplicity, balance, and the interconnectedness of all things. Mountains represented stability and eternity, while water symbolized adaptability and flow. Together, they conveyed the harmony of opposites, yin and yang. But Chinese art wasn't limited to landscapes. Ceramics, bronzes, and jade carvings showcased extraordinary craftsmanship, each piece telling a story about its time and culture. Just as art reflected cosmic order, so too did architecture embody the ideals of balance and harmony. Ancient Chinese buildings were designed not only to serve practical purposes, but also to align with spiritual and cosmological beliefs. One of the most distinctive features of Chinese architecture is the pagoda, a tiered tower inspired by Indian stupas, but adapted to Chinese aesthetics. Pagodas reached skyward, symbolizing the connection between earth and heaven. The principles of feng shui, literally wind water, guided architectural decisions, ensuring that buildings harmonized with natural energy flows. Orientation, layout, and materials were carefully chosen to promote prosperity, health, and longevity. Nowhere is this philosophy more evident than in the Forbidden City, the Imperial Palace complex in Beijing. Constructed during the Ming Dynasty, 1368 to 1644, it exemplifies symmetry, hierarchy, and grandeur. Every detail, from the golden roof tiles to the dragon motifs, was laden with symbolic meaning, reinforcing the emperor's divine authority. Timber frame construction allowed for flexibility and resilience, enabling structures to withstand earthquakes while maintaining elegance. This engineering ingenuity ensured that ancient Chinese architecture remained both functional and awe-inspiring. If there's one art form that encapsulates the soul of ancient China, it's calligraphy, the art of beautiful writing. For the Chinese, calligraphy wasn't just a means of communication. It was an expression of character, emotion, and philosophy. The tools of calligraphy, known as the four treasures of the study, include the brush, inkstick, inkstone, and paper. Each element plays a crucial role in creating fluid, dynamic compositions. Different scripts evolved over centuries, each with its own aesthetic and purpose. Seal script, with its angular characters, was used for official seals and inscriptions. Clerical script introduced broader, flatter strokes, while cursive script allowed for greater freedom and spontaneity. Calligraphy was revered as the highest form of visual art, surpassing even painting in prestige. Masters like Wang Shiji, whose preface to the poems composed at the Orchid Pavilion is considered a masterpiece, elevated calligraphy to new heights. Even today, calligraphy remains a living tradition, bridging past and present through the timeless beauty of the written word. While painting, architecture, and calligraphy dominated the fine arts, sculpture and craftsmanship flourished as well, producing objects of unparalleled beauty and technical skill. Jade held special significance in Chinese culture, symbolizing purity, immortality, and moral integrity. Artisans transformed raw stones into exquisite ornaments, burial items, and ceremonial pieces, each imbued with spiritual meaning. Bronze casting reached its peak during the Shang circa, 16th to 11th centuries, BCE, and Zhou 11th to 3rd centuries, BCE dynasties. Ritual vessels adorned with Tayoti masks and geometric patterns served both practical and religious functions, connecting rulers to ancestral spirits. Porcelain, often called white gold, emerged during the Tang Dynasty and reached perfection under the Song. Known for its translucency and durability, Chinese porcelain captivated audiences worldwide, becoming a cornerstone of global trade. These crafts not only demonstrated technical mastery, but also conveyed cultural values, making them enduring symbols of Chinese identity. In ancient China, art forms often merged to create immersive experiences that engaged all the senses. Classical gardens, for instance, combined architecture, painting, and poetry to evoke idealized visions of nature. Gardens were designed as microcosms of the universe, incorporating elements like rocks, water, and plants to represent mountains, rivers, and forests. Inscriptions carved into stone tablets invited visitors to reflect on poetic verses, deepening their appreciation of the space. Performance arts like opera brought together music, dance, and drama, captivating audiences with tales of heroism, romance, and morality. Costumes, makeup, and acrobatics added visual splendor, while lyrics conveyed profound truths. This synthesis of art forms highlights the holistic approach of ancient Chinese culture, where every creative endeavor aimed to elevate the human spirit. What if I told you that some of history's most ingenious military strategies were born not on modern battlefields, but thousands of years ago, in the heart of ancient China? From cunning generals who outsmarted entire armies to revolutionary inventions that changed the face of warfare, this civilization mastered the art of conflict like no other. Now we delve into the world of ancient Chinese warfare, a realm where strategy was as vital as strength, where innovation met tradition, and where battles shaped empires. This is the story of how ancient China fought, adapted, and conquered. To understand ancient Chinese warfare, we must begin at its roots, long before grand armies marched across vast territories. In the earliest days, tribal clans clashed over fertile lands along the Yellow River Valley, using primitive stone and wooden weapons. But it was during the Shang dynasty, circa 1600 to 1046 BCE, that warfare began to take shape as an organized endeavor. The Shang forged advanced bronze weapons, daggers, halberds, and chariot fittings that gave them a decisive edge in battle. The introduction of war chariots marked another milestone. Pulled by horses and manned by archers, these mobile platforms dominated early Chinese battlefields, symbolizing power and prestige. As dynasties rose and fell, warfare grew increasingly sophisticated. By the Warring States period, 475 to 221 BCE, massive conscripted armies clashed in epic campaigns, laying the groundwork for imperial unification under the Qin dynasty. No discussion of ancient Chinese warfare would be complete without mentioning one of history's greatest strategists, Sun Tzu. Born during the tumultuous spring and autumn period, 770 to 476 BCE, Sun Tzu authored The Art of War, a treatise that remains relevant even today. The art of war isn't just about fighting. It's about winning without fighting. Sun Tzu emphasized intelligence, deception, and adaptability, teaching commanders to know thyself and know thy enemy. His insights into terrain, morale, and logistics transformed warfare from brute force into a chess match of wits. One famous example of Sun Tzu's influence is the Battle of Meiling, 342 BCE, where General Sun Bin used feigned retreats and hidden forces to annihilate a much larger army. Such strategies underscored the importance of mental agility over sheer numbers. Even in our modern world, Sun Tzu's teachings continue to inspire. From corporate strategy to sports coaching, proving that the lessons of ancient China are timeless. Ancient China didn't just excel in strategy. It also pioneered groundbreaking technologies that revolutionized warfare. Perhaps none was more transformative than gunpowder, an accidental discovery that forever altered the course of human history. Initially used for fireworks and rituals, gunpowder soon found its way onto battlefields. By the Tang Dynasty, 618 to 907 CE, fire lances, primitive flamethrowers, were deployed to terrify enemies. Later, during the Song Dynasty, 960 to 1279 CE, cannons, bombs, and rockets emerged, giving rise to explosive warfare. Siege engines also played a crucial role. Massive trebuchets hurled boulders at fortified walls, while battering rams breached city gates. These innovations allowed armies to conquer heavily defended strongholds, reshaping the dynamics of siege warfare. On water, too, the Chinese excelled. During the Three Kingdoms period, 220 to 280 ECE, warships equipped with paddle wheels and armored decks dominated rivers and lakes. Naval battles became spectacles of coordination and firepower, showcasing China's maritime prowess. Throughout its history, ancient China witnessed countless battles that decided the fate of empires. Let's explore three legendary conflicts that highlight the ingenuity and ferocity of Chinese warfare. The first is the Battle of Red Cliffs, 208 CE, a turning point in the Three Kingdoms era. Outnumbered 10 to 1, the Allied forces of Sun Quan and Liu Bei defeated Cao Cao's massive fleet using fire ships and favorable winds. Their victory demonstrated the power of teamwork and environmental awareness. Next is the devastating Battle of Changping, 260 BCE, where Qin forces slaughtered over 400,000 Zhao prisoners after a prolonged siege. While brutal, this campaign showcased the ruthlessness required to unify China under Emperor Qin Shi Huang. Finally, consider the Mongol invasions led by Genghis Khan and Kublai Khan. Though foreign invaders, the Mongols adopted many Chinese military techniques, including gunpowder weapons and siege tactics, to conquer the Song dynasty. These battles remind us that warfare in ancient China was as much about strategy and innovation as it was about courage and sacrifice. While men often dominated the battlefield, women also played pivotal roles in ancient Chinese warfare, sometimes as warriors, sometimes as strategists, and always as symbols of resilience. Hua Mulan, immortalized in folklore, disguised herself as a man to serve in her father's place, proving that valor knows no gender. Her story inspired generations to challenge societal norms and embrace bravery. Empress Wu Zetian, the only female emperor in Chinese history, wielded political and military power with unmatched skill. She expanded the empire's borders and crushed rebellions, leaving a legacy of strength and determination. Other notable women, such as Lady Fu Hao, a Shang general, and consort Yu, who commanded troops during the Chu-Han contention, further illustrate the diverse contributions of women to ancient Chinese warfare. The legacy of ancient Chinese warfare extends far beyond its own borders. Its strategies, technologies, and philosophies have influenced militaries and thinkers worldwide. Gunpowder, once confined to Chinese battlefields, spread westward, transforming European warfare and contributing to the fall of medieval fortresses. Similarly, Sun Tzu's The Art of War has been studied by generals, CEOs, and athletes alike, offering timeless insights into competition and leadership. Moreover, the emphasis on harmony, balance, and adaptability reflects broader Chinese values that continue to resonate globally. Whether in diplomacy, economics, or personal development, the lessons of ancient Chinese warfare remain profoundly relevant. What if I told you that behind every empire's grandeur lies the heartbeat of ordinary lives? In ancient China, society was a tapestry woven from threads of tradition, hierarchy, and daily rituals. From the farmer tilling fields to the emperor ruling from his throne, each person played a role in shaping one of history's greatest civilizations. Now, we step back in time to explore the social structure, daily life, and enduring traditions of ancient China, a world where harmony, duty, and cultural richness defined existence. Ancient Chinese society was built on a rigid yet intricate hierarchy, shaped by Confucian philosophy and the concept of the mandate of heaven. At the top stood the emperor, believed to be divinely chosen to rule, provided he governed justly and virtuously. Beneath the emperor were the scholar officials, highly educated bureaucrats who administered the empire. Selected through rigorous civil service exams based on Confucian classics, these officials ensured stability and continuity across vast territories. Below them were the four main classes of society: peasants, artisans, merchants, and soldiers. Peasants formed the backbone of the economy, cultivating rice, wheat, and millet to feed the population. Despite their low status, they were respected for their essential role in sustaining the nation. Artisans crafted tools, weapons, and luxury goods, blending practicality with artistry. Merchants, though wealthy, occupied a lower rank due to Confucian disdain for profit-seeking. Yet, their trade networks connected regions and facilitated cultural exchange. At the bottom of the hierarchy were slaves and servants, often captured during wars or born into servitude. Though marginalized, they contributed to the functioning of households and estates. To understand ancient China is to glimpse the rhythms of its daily life, a delicate balance between work, celebration, and reflection. For most people, life revolved around agriculture, governed by the cycles of nature and the lunar calendar. The agricultural calendar dictated not only when to sow and reap, but also when to hold communal gatherings and religious ceremonies. Festivals like the Lunar New Year, Mid-Autumn Festival, and Dragon Boat Festival brought families together, reinforcing bonds and traditions. Education was highly valued, especially among the elite. Boys from affluent families studied Confucian texts, calligraphy, and poetry, preparing for careers as scholar officials. Girls, meanwhile, learned domestic skills such as weaving, cooking, and managing households. Daily routines varied depending on one's class and occupation. While peasants rose before dawn to tend fields, artisans labored in workshops crafting exquisite wares. Merchants navigated bustling markets, while scholars debated philosophy in quiet courtyards. Despite differences in wealth and status, shared customs and beliefs united all levels of society, creating a sense of collective identity. At the heart of ancient Chinese society lay the family, a sacred institution upheld by the principle of filial piety. According to Confucius, respecting one's parents and ancestors was the foundation of morality and social order. Ancestor worship reinforced this belief, ensuring that the living maintained strong ties with the deceased. Rituals included regular offerings, prayers, and commemorative ceremonies, fostering a deep connection between past and present. Families were typically large and extended, with multiple generations living under one roof. This arrangement promoted cooperation, mutual support, and the transmission of knowledge and values. Marriage was another pillar of family life, arranged to strengthen alliances and ensure prosperity. Weddings were elaborate affairs, steeped in symbolism and ritual, reflecting the importance of union and continuity. Through these practices, the family became both a microcosm of society and a vessel for preserving cultural heritage. Spirituality permeated every aspect of ancient Chinese life, blending formal religions with local beliefs and superstitions. Three major philosophies, Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism, shaped the spiritual landscape, each offering unique perspectives on existence. Confucianism emphasized moral conduct and social harmony, guiding individuals in their roles within the family and state. Taoism, rooted in nature and spontaneity, encouraged followers to align with the Tao, the universal flow of energy. Buddhism, introduced from India during the Han Dynasty, gained widespread popularity by promising salvation and enlightenment. Monasteries became centers of learning, art, and charity, influencing everything from sculpture to literature. Folk religion added another layer, incorporating deities, spirits, and omens into daily life. People prayed to gods of wealth, fertility, and protection, seeking blessings and warding off misfortune. Together, these traditions created a rich tapestry of faith and practice, connecting heaven and earth in ways that continue to resonate today. Amidst the demands of work and duty, ancient Chinese found joy and meaning in art, leisure, and entertainment. These pursuits weren't mere distractions. They were expressions of culture and creativity. Poetry flourished as a cherished art form, capturing emotions, landscapes, and philosophical musings. Famous poets like Li Bai and Du Fu left behind timeless works that still inspire readers worldwide. Music and dance accompanied celebrations, rituals, and storytelling. Instruments like the guqin, zither, and pipa, lute, produced haunting melodies, while acrobats and dancers entertained crowds with dazzling displays. Theater emerged as a vibrant medium, combining drama, music, and acrobatics. Shadow puppetry and opera captivated audiences, conveying tales of heroism, romance, and morality. Sports and games provided recreation, from archery and martial arts to board games like Go and chess. Even simple pastimes like kite flying and chess reflected the ingenuity and playfulness of ancient Chinese culture. As we conclude our journey through ancient China, one thing becomes clear. This civilization didn't just survive, it thrived, leaving an indelible mark on human history. Its inventions, philosophies, and monuments remind us of the boundless potential of human creativity. So, tell me, which ancient Chinese invention do you think had the biggest impact on our world today? Was it paper, the compass, gunpowder, or something else entirely? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into history's greatest mysteries.